Hey everybody, welcome to Arcane Wednesday for July 15th, 2020. I'm your host, DM Gallibond. Alright, today on Arcane Wednesday, we are going to be talking about the Catapult. Catapult, this is actually a spell. This is not an item as you guys may be thinking from the name. It is actually a spell that wizards and artificers get access to early on in their careers. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what that is like. Um, Sorcerers, wizards, and artificers get this spell at first level. Takes an action, 60-foot range. It's just simply a somatic component, so you just have to basically wiggle your fingers. You don't even have to say anything. And what it does is it finds any object within the range, so within 60 feet of the caster, that isn't being worn or carried. And the caveat is that object has to be 1 to 5 pounds. So like a small rock or something, a rock that you could pick up with your hand. And that object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction you choose before falling to the ground, stopping early if it impacts against a solid surface. If the object would strike a creature, that creature must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the object strikes the target and stops moving. When it strikes something, the object and whatever it strikes each takes 3d8 bludgeoning damage. So then you can upcast this in this level, and by moving it to a higher level, second spell slot or higher, the maximum weight increases by 5 pounds, and the damage increases by 1d8 for each spell slot above. For each spell slot above first level. All right, so that is how the spell works in 5th edition. Now, Catapult in and of itself, and this focus on a 1 to 5 pound object, that is all brand new in 5th edition. However, there are precedents for that, and the precedent for that has a very interesting history in the game. Let's go to AD&D, and let's look at the Telekinesis spell. Now, this one is a little bit tricky to get your mind around, but this one it's a 5th level spell, so of course it's much more powerful than the 1st level spell, but it's the closest thing in the game that works the way the 1st level Catapult spell does. Now, by means of this spell, magic is able to move objects by force of will, by concentrating on and moving them mentally. Telekinesis spell causes a desired object to move vertically or horizontally. Movement is 20 feet the first round, 40 feet the second round, 80 feet the third round, 160 feet the fourth round, and so on, doubling every round until a maximum telekinetic movement of 10,240 feet per round is reached. So 10,240 feet in 10 seconds. That's well over supersonic. So, but it means it takes a long time to get to going that fast. And heavy objects traveling at high speed can be deadly weapons, it says. So note that telekinesis can be used to move opponents who fall within their weight capacity, but if they are able to employ a simple countermeasure such as an enlarge spell, thus making the body weight go over the spell limit, it's easily countered. Likewise, ambulation or some other form of motive power, if the recipient of the spell is not able to ambulate, counters the effect of telekinesis, provided the velocity is not reached 160 feet per round. Various Big Beast hand spells will also counter the spell, as will many other magics. So the duration is this lasts 2 rounds plus 1 round per level. So, notice how with this type of thing here, the fact that the speed has to keep increasing level by or round by round, and it doesn't immediately go to however fast you want it. It it actually has to get faster and faster and faster as it goes. So if you're a low level caster, if you can just barely cast fifth level spells, which would be what, like uh, for first, third, fifth, seventh. So that would be ninth level, I think, when you can cast fifth level spells. Then yeah, you can probably get it going pretty fast by then. But it moves horizontally. It doesn't move like in a circular thing. So you have to somehow get something that's far enough away that you could move it and then have it strike the person, but you'd still have to have it going far enough, fast enough. So yeah, it's not exactly a replacement for telekinesis, but it's kind of an interesting take on that. And the 250 gold piece weight per level is that's 25 pounds per level. Now, contrast that with telekinesis. I know we're talking about Catapult in the 5th edition, but contrast that in 2nd edition D&D, what the telekinesis spell does. So, range is 10 yards per level, and a wizard's able to move objects a weight up to 25 pounds up to a distance of 20 feet per round. So this doesn't get faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. Each just goes 20 feet per round. So this version of telekinesis from 2nd edition is not really. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. There's a second thing. Okay, a second uh, casting of the spell, which does actually work. Okay. Alternatively, spell energy can be expended in a single round. The caster can hurl one or more objects within range and with a 10-foot cube directly away from himself at high speed, up to distance up to 10 feet per caster level. This is subject to a maximum weight of 25 pounds per caster level. Damage caused by hurled objects is decided by the DM, but cannot exceed 1 point of damage per caster level. Opponents who fall within a weight capacity can be hurled, but they're allowed a saving throw. So this allows you to do that, but they didn't really have figured out how the damage would be calculated, which is where we go to 3rd edition, and we find telekinesis, which now has more detail laid out. So it's a standard action. It's a 5th level spell once again. Long range, 400 feet plus 40 feet per caster level. Concentration up to 1 round per level or instantaneous. So you have the sustained force, which is um, the concentration version. The instantaneous is the combat maneuver version. Uh, or actually the violent thrust version. Alternatively, the spell energy can be spent in a single round. Hurl one object or creature per caster level, maximum 15 that are within range, and all within 10 feet of each other towards any target within 10 feet per level of all the objects. You hurl up to a total weight of 25 pounds per caster level, or maximum of 375 pounds at 15th level. Succeed on attack rolls 1 per creature or object thrown to hit the target with the items using your base attack plus your intelligence modifier if a wizard or a charisma modifier if a sorcerer. Weapons cause standard damage, no strength bonus. Arrows or bolts deal damage as daggers of their size when used in this manner. Other objects cause damage ranging from 1 to 25 point 1 from 25 pounds for less dangerous objects such as a barrel to 1d6 points of damage per 25 pounds for hard, dense objects like a boulder. So you could take a boulder, a 50-pound boulder, and hurl it at somebody with a telekinesis spell. But it had to be, you had to use a 5th level spell slot. What's interesting about the catapult spell now in 5th edition is they've kind of miniaturized that and say, okay, here's like the first taste of telekinesis, and it can only be very small objects. There's no, you know, the if you graduate this by 5 pounds per spell slot that you raise it up, then 5 pounds. So that's a maximum of 45 pounds. Which, yeah, if you throw a 45-pound rock at somebody, that's gonna deal a lot of damage. And then it's the 3d8, so that's pretty good damage there. 3d8 damage for something. And then you could imagine if you used a 9th level spell slot, um, 3 and 8 would be what, 11? So 11d8. Yeah, that'd be a lot of damage. You could hurt something very badly hitting it with a rock if you use this at 9th level. I have a player in my Thursday night game who has rolled an Artificer, and the Artificer loves this Catapult spell. It's one of his go-to spells. He uses it every chance he can, and he's got a really neat flavor of how his unique the way that his artificer uniquely manifests this catapult spell. So that's kind of cool. In the comments below, I would love to hear if you have used this with one of your characters, or as a DM, if you have players who have used this catapult spell, or if you've used it as a DM against your players with some kind of monster or something. What is your impression of it, and how do you like the spell? Alright, if you guys like what we're doing here on this channel, please subscribe down below. Hit the post notification bell so that way you'll be notified every time something new posts to the channel. You can check out the description, and you will find all the ways you can follow me on social media and all of the other content that I do, not only here on YouTube, but on my Twitch channel when I stream content. All right, everybody. Hopefully we will see you back next Wednesday for another Arcane Wednesday. And hopefully between now and then you'll check out some of the other content that we have on the channel. Hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Take care, and good night, everybody.